Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap and welcome to Finance 360 degree session. So today we are going to discuss three very important articles. The first one is the SEBI has launched the three new IT platforms that we are going to discuss in detail. From this particular article, the questions can come in the phase 1 as well as in the phase 2 of the examination. Okay, so this article is important as well as the new IT platforms, they are important from the examination perspective. The second news article is regarding the SEBI has launched verified app label initiative. So what is this initiative that we will discuss, and what are the other initiatives that have been discussed by the chairman, that also we are going to discuss. So the CVV, what does this stand for from the perspective of the chairman of the SEBI? So we are going to discuss the full form of this also. Okay, then the last article is regarding the IRDAI that has designated LIC, GIC and New India Assurance as the domestic systemically important insurance. So what are the parameters according to which the domestic systemically important insurers are listed? So all of this we are going to discuss in today's session. Okay, all these articles are important from the phase 1 perspective of the RBI Grade B examination, as well as the three new IT platforms and the domestic systemically important insurance. This article is also important from the phase 2 objective perspective. Okay, so first of all, give me a thumbs up if I'm clearly audible and the screen is visible. Good morning, Rona. Good morning, Kashish. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the session. So now let's get started with the session. But before that, do subscribe to the YouTube channel of EduTap so that you continue getting the relevant videos, and do join our Telegram channel where you will get the PDF of the session. And the link for the Telegram channel is provided in the description box below. Okay, so the PDF is usually provided within 24 hours, but as the team has holiday today and tomorrow, so most probably you will get the PDF by Monday. Okay, so now let's get started. The first article that we are going to discuss is regarding the IRDAI that has released the 2025-26 list of domestic systemically important insurers. So recently the IRDAI has released a press release in April 2026 with the list of the domestic systemically important insurers. These are the insurers that are very important for the smooth functioning of the insurance sector in the country. Okay, so domestic systemically important insurers, they are the most important insurers in the country. Okay, now how this list is prepared, that also we will discuss. So first of all, IRDAI has completed the annual exercise of identifying the domestic systemically important insurers for the financial year 2025-26, and this list was recently released in the press release of April 2026 by the IRDAI. Now the following insurers, they continue to be identified as domestic systemically important insurers, and there is no change from the financial year 2024-25. So these are the domestic systemically important insurers, that is the Life Insurance Corporation of India, LIC, the New India Assurance Company Limited, and the General Insurance Corporation of India. So these are the three insurers or the insurance companies, we can say, that have been identified as the domestic systemically important insurers. Okay, domestic systemically important insurers, they refer to insurers of such size, market importance and domestic and global interconnectedness. So domestic systemically important insurers, they refer to the insurers that are very important on the basis of their size, market importance, domestic and global interconnectedness. Okay, whose distress. Now if these domestic systemically important insurance, if they are in distress or if they fail, this would cause a significant dislocation in the domestic financial system. It will create a huge problem for the domestic financial system. Okay, so that's why these are the domestic systemically important insurers. Therefore, the continued functioning of these entities is critical for the uninterrupted availability of the insurance services to the national economy, Now these domestic systemically important insurers, they are too big to fail insurers. They should not fail basically. So given the nature of their operations and the systemic importance of the domestic systemically important insurers, these insurers have to carry forward their efforts to raise the level of corporate governance, to have the better corporate governance and identify all the relevant risk and promote a sound risk management framework and culture. So these are the two activities that they have to pursue: raise the level of corporate governance and identify all relevant risk and promote a sound risk management framework and culture. Now, domestic systemically important insurers are subjected to enhanced regulatory supervision from the IRDAI. Now, as I was going through the articles here, you can see that this was the article this was the press release of the IRDAI from the September 2020. Okay. Now here the methodology for identification and supervision of domestic systemically important insurers have been mentioned. So in order to identify the domestic systemically important insurers, the IRDAI has developed a methodology for identification and supervision of these insurers. Okay. The parameters as per the methodology for identification of these entities are these. These are the 4 parameters that you have to keep in mind. The size of operations in terms of total revenue, including the premium that has been underwritten and the value of assets that are under management of this insurance company. The global activities across more than one jurisdiction, lack of substitutability, so that is showing the market importance of the insurer, because this insurance company, this insurer, it has the lack of substitutability. There is no other substitute that is present of this insurer. Okay, so there is lack of substitutability of their products and or operations. Last is interconnectedness through counterparty. So there is domestic interconnectedness through counterparty exposure. So there is counterparty exposure and macroeconomic exposure to the whole of the economy. So these are the 4 parameters according to which the domestic systemically important insurer is identified: the size of operations, global activities, lack of substitutability, and interconnectedness. So before we have discussed that the domestic systemically important insurers refer to insurance of such size, market importance, and global and domestic interconnectedness. So these can be seen through the parameters that we have seen here. Okay, the size of operations, the global activities, the domestic interconnectedness, and the lack of substitutability. These are the 4 parameters according to which the domestic systemically important insurers are identified. It was also said that these parameters were assigned different weights to cover the various aspects of their operations. The authority, that is the IRDAI, would identify domestic systemically important insurers on the annual basis and disclose the name on the annual basis, and that the IRDAI has been doing since 2020-2021. Okay, so this is the idea. I hope this is very much clear. The parameters, the 4 parameters, I hope these are clear, as well as the 3 domestic systemically important insurers. The name you have to remember, it is LIC, okay, it is New India Assurance, and the GIC. Okay, the Life Insurance Corporation, the New India Assurance Company, and the GIC, that is the General Insurance Corporation. And these are the 4 parameters. Now, moving forward, at the global level, the framework of systemically important insurer is implemented by International Association of Insurance Supervisors. Now coming to the next article, that is regarding the launch of various IT platforms by chairman of the SEBI to improve the ease of doing business. So first of all, SEBI has launched 3 IT solutions to improve efficiency and speed of communication with external entities to digitally enable quasi-judicial proceedings. What are the quasi-judicial proceedings? That we will understand. And to strengthen cyber security supervision of SEBI regulated entities. So there are 3 IT solutions that have been launched. First is to improve the efficiency and speed of communication with the external entities. Second is for digitally enabling quasi-judicial proceedings. And the third IT solution is to strengthen the cyber security supervision of the SEBI regulated entities. Now let's understand them one by one. So the first one is SUPCOMS. What is the full form of SUPCOMS? Very important to remember. Single Universal Platform for Communications. Okay, so single universal platform for communications. By the name itself, you can understand that this is going to be the single platform for communication with the SEBI. So SEBI is going to have this single universal platform for communication to communicate with the external entities, to communicate with the intermediaries of the SEBI, to communicate with the brokers, dealers, investment advisors, research analysts, and to communicate with the mutual funds and such. So SEBI is going to have this single universal platform for communication, rather than having the fragmented trail mails. Because what happens that, okay, right now one officer of SEBI is discussing something with the broker, that why they have violated such kind of rule and regulation, or there is some violation that has happened, or there is some complaint against the broker, or the broker has requested the broker has requested something. So there is discussion that is going on the trail mail. But the trail mail, like, sometimes they can be missed because there are so many of the mails that are coming to the SEBI because of so many of the different brokers, investment advisors, research analysts that the SEBI is connected to. So the break can happen in the trail mails, or the break can happen in the mail. And this can lead to a lot of confusion and a lot of communications getting missed. So this platform, that is single universal platform for communications, this platform is designed to replace traditional email-centric interactions with the SEBI. This transition ensures that going forward, all the communications with the external entities remain easily accessible for both SEBI and the entity through this single universal platform for communications. So the implementation of SUPCOMS leads to the creation of a robust institutional memory that is going to record the communication with a particular entity at one place, so it is easily identifiable, it is easily approachable. Okay, the platform ensures an audit trail of communications and prevents fragmented communication and broken reply chains. So in the email there can be many broken reply chains, that there is a new trail mail that has started, a lot of confusion is there. So instead of that, this is the solution. Okay, so this is the idea. Goodbye to the email chaos. Now there is one unified platform for all the communication. This will lead to centralized interaction, secure and accessible institutional memory that is going to record the communications and keep the communications at one place. Okay, so this is the idea. Now the SUPCOMS application is now live and accessible through the e-services portal. All registered intermediaries and the external entities that regularly interact with the SEBI can utilize this facility by obtaining a login on the portal. This initiative will promote the ease of doing business, trust and transparency. Okay, so this is the idea. Now coming to the E-adjudication portal. Now to understand the E-adjudication portal, first you have to understand the quasi-judicial proceedings. So first of all, see, the SEBI Act provides the SEBI Act provides the Securities Exchange and the Securities Exchange Board of India. Sorry, I don't know what happened. Sorry. So the SEBI Act, it provides the SEBI with the authority to undertake the quasi-judicial proceedings. Okay, so through this SEBI Act, the SEBI has the authority to act as the quasi-judiciary. Now quasi-judiciary is like the court, but the SEBI here has the authority to do the hearings, to examine the evidence and to take the decisions on the specified issues that are related to the securities domain, that are related to the securities market or the capital market. Okay, so this is the idea, that the SEBI, it works as the judiciary for its own domain. So that is quasi-judiciary. That is just like the court, as if the SEBI has the court-like powers. Okay, judiciary-like powers, as it can undertake the hearings, examine the evidence and take the decisions for the disputes, for the violations that are happening in the capital market, in the securities market domain. So that is known as the quasi-judiciary. So not a full court. The SEBI is just getting the authority through the SEBI Act to work as a quasi-judiciary. So it is not a full court, but the SEBI has the statutory authority, has the legal authority under the SEBI Act to act as the quasi. That is just like a court in the securities market, that is in the capital market. Okay, so this is the idea. So the SEBI, it can act as the quasi-judiciary, and quasi-judicial proceedings, these are the proceedings that are conducted by the regulatory body. These are the proceedings that are conducted by the regulatory body to handle the disputes, or to handle the violations that are happening to the rules and regulations and the laws under the capital market. Okay, so this is the idea. I hope the quasi-judicial proceedings is very much clear, that the quasi-judicial proceedings, these are the proceedings undertaken by the regulatory body to handle the violations, to handle the disputes, to handle the breaches in its own domain. That is, for the SEBI, the domain is the capital market. Okay. So the E-adjudication portal, this digital initiative, it aims to provide an alternate, transparent platform, the electronic platform for all the parties that are involved in the quasi-judicial proceedings, especially the adjudication proceedings. Adjudication proceedings, this is the formal legal proceedings that are undertaken for handling the case of the violation. Okay, so if there is any violation of the rules and regulation, or if there is any violation in the securities market, in the capital market under the domain of SEBI, so to handle such kind of violation, the adjudication proceedings, the formal legal process is undertaken. Now SEBI, it appoints the adjudication officers to handle the adjudication proceedings. So I hope this is very much clear that quasi-judicial proceedings are basically the proceedings undertaken by the quasi-judiciary, and these are the proceedings that are undertaken under the regulatory body to handle the violations, to handle the breaches, to handle any kind of disputes that are happening in its own domain. Adjudication proceedings, these are the formal legal process that are undertaken to handle the violations that are done by certain entity, and under the adjudication proceedings there can be monetary penalty that can be imposed, or there can be the directions that can be imposed on certain entity. And for the adjudication proceedings, SEBI appoints adjudication officers to handle the whole adjudication proceeding, the formal legal process, to handle the violation. So the E-adjudication portal, this is the digital initiative aimed to provide an alternate, transparent platform. So rather than having the physical meetings and having the physical proceeding, there will be the electronic proceedings that can be undertaken. So this digital initiative aims to provide an alternate, transparent platform for all the parties involved in the proceedings, especially the adjudication proceedings. The portal is designed with the objective to improve the speed of the quasi-judicial proceedings and ensure a paperless regulatory framework. So the portal is designed to facilitate direct interaction with the external entities against which the case is going on, and provides the following facilities. So through the E-adjudication portal, you can see and download the show cause notice issued by the SEBI. So SEBI has first issued the show cause notice that, okay, you have done this violation, or we have come to notice that you have done the violation. So this is the show cause notice. Now you have to show the cause, that why you have done the violation, or is the violation actually correct, or you have to provide the evidence that, okay, the violation actually has not happened, or it is just a technical glitch. Okay, then you will have to submit the reply. So respond to the show cause notice and submit the post hearing submissions. You can request the adjudication officer for certain actions like document inspection and extension of time for your reply, as well as through this portal you can also attend the hearings online through a dedicated module. So you can understand that the whole process through the E-adjudication portal can be made online, can be made electronic, rather than having the physical documents, rather than having the physical appearance and the hearings. So view and download the show cause notice issued by the SEBI on this portal, respond to the show cause notice, submit the post hearing submissions that you have to submit, as well as the document inspection or any request to the adjudication officer can be made through this portal only. Attend the hearings online through this portal. That is the whole idea. So the E-adjudication portal has been made operational. Here you can see that this is the online platform to manage and facilitate quasi-judicial proceedings by SEBI. So the portal is integrated with the internal case management of SEBI to support the workflow of various internal departments involved in the quasi-judicial proceedings. Okay, that are the proceedings undertaken by the regulatory body to handle the violations, hearings, or disputes in its own domain. That is the idea. Now, coming to the last idea, or coming to the last IT platform, that is the CSAC. CSAC is Cyber Securities Audit Compliance. Remember the full form. First of all, the full forms are always very important, especially for the phase 1. The whole idea is more important from the phase 2 perspective. Okay. Now CSAC, that is Cyber Security Audit Compliance. This enables automated analysis of cyber audit reports, facilitating identification of compliance gap. Let's say that there are multiple intermediaries. There are so many of the brokers, dealers, investment advisors, or let's say research analysts, the SM REITs, real estate investment trusts, small and medium, and the InvITs. They are sending their reports, because these are the intermediaries under the regulation of the SEBI. So SEBI regulated entities, they are sending their cyber audit reports. if the AI is not used, if the automation is not used, you can understand that it will become very difficult for SEBI to go through each and every audit report one by one, and it takes a lot of time also, right? So CSAC, that is Cybersecurity's Audit Compliance, this enables automated analysis of the cyber audit reports, facilitating the identification of the compliance gaps, risk areas, and actionable insights. So through this automated process, through this automated analysis, the identification of the compliance gaps, risk areas, and actionable insights, this will become easier and faster and smoother. So this platform enhances efficiency, reduces manual effort, and supports timely data-driven supervisory decisions, because the SEBI has the supervisory role in the securities domain in the capital market, and SEBI supervises the regulated entities in the capital market domain. So SEBI also supervises the cyber audit report, or supervises the cyber security in its domain. Okay, so this platform enhances efficiency, reduces manual effort, supports timely and data-driven supervisory decisions, reinforces the SEBI's commitment to leveraging using the technology for robust cyber security oversight. Okay, now CSAC shall analyze the cyber audit report submitted to SEBI by the regulated entities of the SEBI on SEBI intermediary portal. So basically on the SEBI intermediary portal, the reports will be submitted, and the CSAC will analyze these reports and share the analysis with the entities upon submission of their compliance report to SEBI through email. This is the idea. CSAC also provide risk scores and comparative analysis of cyber audit reports of the regulated entities, so that the risk score can show you that in your, like, if we are talking about the brokers, Zerodha is there, then IND Money is there, Grow is there. So in the list of the brokers where you are, what is your score? Are you at the higher risk category or lower risk category? Okay, so the CSAC also provides the risk score and comparative analysis of the cyber audit reports of the regulated entities. This will aid in enhancing risk-based supervision approach of SEBI. So these are the three initiatives that we have discussed. Any confusion anyone has in any of the point? I will take the extra queries. I have brought a spacious slide for all of you, so do not worry about it. Any confusion here? Anyone? No confusion? Give me a thumbs up if everything is clear. Chalo. Now, SEBI has launched these IT solutions. The SUPCOMS, it is a platform to streamline communication with external entities and enhance the institutional memory, so that the record can be maintained for the long period of time, as well as it can be easily approachable and transparent in manner. E-adjudication portal, it is a next generation platform to digitally enable quasi-judicial proceedings. Cybersecurity's audit compliance and cybersecurity audit compliance, and an AI-enabled platform to strengthen cybersecurity supervision of SEBI regulated entities. Okay, so this is the idea. So cyber security audit compliance. This is CSAC. This is the AI-enabled platform to strengthen cybersecurity supervision of SEBI regulated entities. Now, coming to the next point, the last topic that we have to discuss, SEBI launched an important investor protection measure. So see what has happened. First of all, that there is the increase of fraudulent trading apps, like you must be trading in shares, or you must be trading in the stock market through the Grow app or Zerodha or IND Money, but there are multiple of apps that have come now. Okay, so there is the increase of fraudulent trading apps that has posed a serious threat to retail investors, with scammers impersonating the genuine apps that eventually deceive the gullible investors. So rather than investing through a genuine app, now you are investing through a fake app. Think about it. Let's say you have invested, or you have given the automation, or you have given a auto debit approval. Through the auto debit approval, the money is being deducted from your account on the monthly basis. Now you are giving the access, or you are giving the permission to this fake app to take the money from your account. Now you are thinking that the investment is happening on the regular basis, and usually like after 1 year you will check that okay, how much you have invested in the mutual fund. So you will realize that, okay, you have invested through this fake app, and actually instead of your money going to the mutual fund, it has actually gone in the pockets of the fake app owners. So this is the idea that scammers, they are impersonating the genuine apps, and eventually they are able to deceive the gullible investors in believing that their investments done through the fake apps are directed to the regulated securities market, which is not. The fake apps are just pocketing the money with themselves. Okay, so this is the idea that with the increase of the fraudulent trading apps, the SEBI identified that there is need to provide the clear idea to the investors that which app is fake and which app is genuine, or which app is basically genuine and the other apps will be fake then. So SEBI, in collaboration with Google, has taken this initiative to implement at a first of its kind verified batch on Google Play. So this is the idea that SEBI, in collaboration with Google, has taken this initiative to implement a first of its kind verified batch on Google Play. So Grow Stock Mutual Fund, verified. SBI Securities, verified. Share Markets, verified. SDFC Securities, verified. Angel One, verified. So here you can see this is the verified batch. This is the verified batch. So if you go to the Google Play and you see the trading apps, then you will be able to see these verified batch. And what this verified batch is telling you that, okay, these are the verified apps. These are the verified apps. They are not the fake apps. Okay, so SEBI, in collaboration with the Google, has taken the initiative to provide the verified batch on Google Play to start with for all the stock trading apps in India. So for now, these verified batches are for the stock trading apps in India that are offered by entities that are registered with SEBI. So verified stock trading apps that are linked with the SEBI registered entities. So these apps that are linked with the SEBI registered entities will now display a verified label in the Google Play Store. Subsequently, the verified label will also be extended to other apps of other regulated intermediaries of the SEBI. So this is the idea. Okay. Now, this is the tagline, I can say, पहले पहचान करे फिर निवेश करे. First identify, then invest. First identify, then invest. Okay, so this is the batch, that is verified batch. This is the batch. Okay, now there is also the, like, while closing the event, Chairman SEBI requested investors to follow SEBI CVV. Now what is the CVV? C stands for check, V stands for validate, and the last V stands for verify. So this is the CVV: check, validate, and verify. So check means SEBI check. Have you heard about SEBI check? This is also quite in news. So instead of taking a separate session on SEBI check, I have brought the idea here only. So see, the SEBI check, this is available in the Sarthi app. So you can download the Sarthi app of SEBI, and in the Sarthi app, in the start only, you will see the SEBI check. SEBI check is basically, you can check the verified UPI ID. You can post the QR code and you will get the information that, okay, this is the verified UPI ID, the name where you are sending the money, the name of the entity to which you are sending the money is this, the registration number is this. You can also put the UPI ID of the broker that you are dealing with, or let's say the investment advisor, if you are sending the money to the investment advisor or research analyst, and you want to see that, okay, this is the actual genuine or authentic investment advisor or research analyst registered with SEBI. So you just have to use the photo of the QR code, or you have to type the UPI ID, and you will be able to check that the UPI ID is genuine or not, it is related to the SEBI registered entity or not. Okay, this is the idea. As well as you can also, like, let's say you have not got the QR code or you have not got the UPI ID, you have got the account details for the safe NEFT and RTGS transfers. So you want to transfer the money to the broker or the investment advisor or the research analyst or the mutual fund or any other regulated entity under the SEBI. If you want to transfer the money, you can check the details. Okay, you just have to put the IFSC code, you just have to put the account number, and it will be shown to you that, okay, this is the verified account with the verified registered entity of the SEBI. Okay, so here this is the SEBI check. SEBI check is basically able to check the UPI IDs as well as the UPI QR codes and the bank accounts of the SEBI registered entities where you are sending the money, and is able to show that, okay, the account is genuine or not. it is genuinely related to the SEBI registered entity or not. So this is the idea. The check is, the C is for check, bank accounts through SEBI check. You can check the bank accounts through the SEBI check. And this SEBI check is available in the Sarthi app. It is very easy to use. I just went to the Sarthi app and I tried to like put the details and such, and I was able to see all the information. Okay. And here, these are the snippets directly from the app. This is just an example. Now, coming to the next one, that is validate. Now, for validate, see, what has happened that the UPI ID, like there are regulated entities under the SEBI that collect the money from the investors, such as the brokers, the investment advisors, research analysts, small and medium real estate investment trust, such kind of entities, they collect the money or they take the money from the investors. Now, to identify these regulated entities, are they really connected with the SEBI? Are they really regulated or registered under SEBI? So you can just see that their username will be the entity characters, the characters that the entity has decided, the entity name basically, or the character that the entity identifies with. Dot BKR. BKR is for the broker. For mutual fund, there is the MF. So there are different tags for the different entities. For broker, for mutual fund, for the investment advisors, there are different tags. Then @validate and the bank name. So @validate, this is @valid. This is basically the handle. This is basically the handle that is showing that this ID is valid. This UPI ID is valid and it is related to the SEBI registered entity. So all the SEBI registered entities, all the SEBI regulated entities, they will have this @valid handle. So username, this will be a readable name that is chosen by the intermediary, by the SEBI registered entity, by the intermediary under the SEBI. So the entity name followed by a mandatory suffix that clearly identifies their category. BRK for the broker, MF for the mutual fund, for investment advisors, research analysts, there are different suffix. Okay. Intermediaries are also, so @valid, this is the thing that you will see in the handle, in the UPI handle, to show you that, okay, this is the valid ID of the intermediary. Okay, this is the idea. Now, when you have put the UPI ID, this @valid will be like there in the UPI ID. This here you can see that if you have got the QR code, so in the QR code, if the QR code is of the SEBI registered entity, or if the QR code is of the intermediary related to the SEBI, then here there will be a Q that will be shown to you. So intermediaries are also required to generate a QR code that prominently features the logo for investor convenience, and the logo is a triangle, green triangle with a thumbs up. Okay, so this is the idea that the UPI ID is made safer. If you want to transfer the money to an intermediary under the SEBI, if you want to transfer the money to a broker, dealer, investment advisor, small and medium real estate investment trust, so all these intermediaries should have this @valid in their handle. Okay, as well as this is the correct name that they should be carrying. Next, if QR code, you are paying through the QR code to the intermediaries of the SEBI or to the SEBI registered entities. So here in the QR code, you should get this Q. So V is for validate UPI ID handles having the word valid, @valid basically, which can be checked. And these handles, they can be checked through the SEBI check also. So you just have to put the handle and the details will be shown that, okay, these details or this handle is valid or not. This is really related to SEBI registered entity or not, or SEBI regulated entity or not. Okay, or you can put the QR code here and you can see that, okay, the details are valid or not, and the bank details, are they valid or not. So this is made to protect the customers from the fake apps that are going on, from the fraudsters that are present. Okay, so whenever you invest and you are sending the money through the UPI ID, you are sending the money through the QR code, you are sending the money through the bank accounts directly. So you can check that, are you really investing? Are you really sending the money to the SEBI registered entity or not? The UPI IDs now have the proper handle. The QR codes now have a proper Q, as well as even if you are still not sure, you can go to SEBI check to check further, and the green will be shown if it is valid registered entity, red will be shown. Red will come if it is not valid registered entity. Okay, this is the idea. C is for check, V is for validate. At the rate valid handles are provided for the UPI ID. V is for, last V is for verify, verified labels for stock trading apps in Google Play Store. So this is just launched, verified handles for the stock trading apps in India. So check, validate and verify. This is the idea. So chairman SEBI advise investors to follow, पहले पहचान करे, फिर निवेश करे, first identify, then invest. While closing the event, chairman of the SEBI requested investors to follow SEBI CVV. C is for check, V is for validate, and the other V is for verify. So check for SEBI check, validate at the rate valid handles, and verify verified labels. Okay. So this is it. Now coming to the important announcement. Now I will take your queries. First of all, many of the students, they were requesting for finance current affairs sessions. Like they are saying that in finance 360 degree, I have only taken the RBI notifications, the RBI press releases. First of all, RBI notifications, RBI press releases, they are more important for the past 6 months. While the finance current affairs, you have to focus more on the past 3 months. Finance current affairs are most important for the past 3 months. RBI notifications are most important for the past 6 months. Okay, you can go back to 6 to 9 months if you want to cover all the questions. In finance current affairs, you can go back to 3 to 5 months. Okay, go back to 5 months. But the most important months for RBI notifications are 6 months. For finance current affairs, the most important months are 3 months. And in the past sessions, like multiple sessions have been taken for the finance current affairs, like the 16th Finance Commission. It is not a RBI notification. The major revamp in consumer price index. The first blue bond, AI Sudarshan, this was for SEBI. The Prarambh, corporate laws amendment. So multiple sessions have been taken for finance current affairs. Okay. As well as there is also the monthly revision session. In this monthly revision session, I have discussed with you the SEBI related articles also. I have discussed with you the finance current affairs, and we have discussed the RBI notifications also. Okay, so you do not have to be worried about. Now, what you have to cover actually, like the RBI notifications, as I've told you, RBI notifications, RBI press releases, they are very important for the past 6 months. At least like try to do past 4 to 6 months. If you do not have much time, past 4 months have to be done. If you have time, past 6 months. So past 4 months, let's say you do not have much time for the phase 1, and you have to prepare finance management, ESI, you have to prepare for the QRE, the quant reasoning is very weak. So let's say you are doing past 4 months only for the RBI notification. That is also fine for clearing the phase 1. Okay. Now, past 4 months, if you are doing of the RBI notification, that means you are doing Feb, March, April, May. Okay, if the exam happens in June starting only. If the exam happens in June mid or June late, that means you are also able to cover the June starting. If the exam, let's say, happens on 20th June, so at least till 16th June, you are covering the RBI notifications. So you will be able to do 4.5 months. So Feb, March, April and May. For the Feb, I have already taken multiple sessions on RBI notifications, RBI press releases, and I have also taken this revision session. Now for finance current affairs. For finance current affairs, the months that you have to focus on for the phase 1 is March, April, May. If the exam happens in, let's say, June. If the exam happens in late June, then most important months will be April, May and June then. Okay, but let's say the exam is happening by 20th June. So March, April, May months, these are the 3 months where you can focus on for the finance current affairs, and especially the most important will be April, May if the exam happens in late June, 25th, 30th June. Okay, so then April, May will be most important months for the finance current affairs, April, May and June. Okay, but for now, let's say that the exam happens in the starting June only. So then the March, April, May months will be very important for finance current affairs. Now, for finance current affairs, what I'm going to do, because for RBI notifications, RBI press releases, I have taken multiple sessions in the finance 360. Okay. So for finance current affairs, many of the students are worried that what will happen to the SEBI articles, IRDAI, Ministry of Finance related articles, updates, other finance current affairs that are very important from the examination point of view. So for the March, I'm going to take a special monthly revision session where we are going to discuss in detail about the important finance current affairs from the March. So we are going to have the detailed discussion on the topics that are important from the March month. the finance current affairs that are important from the March month, where we will be covering the SEBI circulars, IRDAI related articles, Ministry of Finance related updates, the other finance current affairs we will be discussing. Okay, so for March, because these finance current affairs of March, April and May are going to be very important if the exam happens in starting June, as well as the finance current affairs of June will be very important if the exam happens in late June. So for March particularly, I am going to bring this monthly revision session. It is more like the monthly session where we are going to have the detailed discussion of the finance current affairs article, and we will also do the MCQs. So first I will discuss the article with you, then I will provide you the MCQ of that article, or first I will provide the MCQ and then we can discuss the article. So there are going to be 20 or 25 articles maybe. So all those articles will be discussed in this March monthly revision session, finance current affairs. Okay, this will be SEBI circulars, IRDI related articles, Ministry of Finance related articles, and this session is going to be on 24th April 2026 at 5 p.m. Okay, now I hope everything is clear now. What you have to do for RBI notifications, that I have informed you. RBI notifications you have to do like for 6 months, but if you have less time, the 4 months will also be fine for the phase 1. You can take that kind of risk. You will have to take the kind of risk because the quant reasoning, English you also have to practice and such. Okay, and multiple other things you have to do. So Feb, March, April, May, these will be most important months. For January, you can see the revision session and such. Like if we take the marathons and the revision session for January, you can see that particular session only. Okay, for Feb, March, April and May, you can prepare more seriously for the RBI notifications. For the finance current affairs, you can start from March. Okay, and if you can also see the finance current affairs of Feb, I have taken the session, the revision session on that. So here you can cover the finance current affairs, the most important finance current affairs for Feb. But from March, you have to be more serious for finance current affairs. And so I'm taking a separate detailed session for the finance current affairs. I hope now you will not have any complaint or you will not have any distress. Okay. Now any confusion? Yes, Daisy, what you can do is just, instead of getting confused, make a timetable that your finance and management, if even if it is 50% done, you can like just invest 1 or 2 hours or 3 hours daily till the notification is out. Till then, like you have approximately till the notification is out on the website, I think you have 15 to 20 days. So you can invest daily 3 hours or 2 hours for your finance and management, better coverage. Then the rest of the hours in the middle of the day, you have to invest 3 hours for your quant reasoning, and the rest of the 3 hours, so I'm expecting you are studying for 6, 7, 8 hours at least. Okay, so in the 2 hours you are doing the finance management, 3 hours you are practicing quant reasoning, the rest of the 3 hours you are investing in the general awareness. Okay, but if your finance management is very weak, then you will have to invest like 3 hours for finance management. Let's say your quant and reasoning is very good, so 2 hours for quant reasoning just for mock practice and such, and the rest of the 3 hours for your general awareness, that is consisting of schemes, reports, RBI notifications, your general awareness, ESI current affairs, finance current affairs and such. Okay, if you are not good in quant reasoning, just invest 1 to 2 hours in FM, and the rest quant reasoning 3 hours, at least 3 to 4 hours, and then the rest of the time for GA. Priyanka, if you are watching the videos, finance current affairs, like finance 360 sessions, if you are watching, then I will suggest you that do read the documents also. The documents will be easier to go through, but you have to read the RBI News tab document that is provided in the course and the current tab document, GA plus finance section. Okay, but it will be easier for you to go through the documents once you have seen the session and the monthly revision session also. Okay. See, if you have time or if you do not want to take risk, you can start from Jan for the RBI notifications, and you can start from Feb for the finance current affairs. Okay, for Feb, I have taken the monthly revision session. From there, you can understand the important finance current affairs. Okay, but if you mostly if you think that, okay, you can take the risk and you do not have much time, then I will suggest you that RBI notifications from Feb and the finance current affairs from March, as well as the most important finance current affairs of Feb that you can see in the session. Okay. So from Jan, RBI notifications. From Feb, you can do, like from March, you can do the finance current affairs in more detail. Let me write it down here. From Jan, RBI notifications, like Jan RBI notifications, you can take the overview. From Feb, be more serious in RBI notifications, more serious. Okay. For finance current affairs, Feb, finance current affairs, you can take the overview. You can see the monthly revision session, and you can just take the overview. You can just go through the document that you have from any of the course that you have taken from EduTap or other institutions. Just take the overview of the Feb finance current affairs. You can also see the monthly revision session for the Feb finance current affairs that I have taken. From March finance current affairs, you have to be more serious, and that's why I'm taking a detailed monthly session for the finance current affairs particularly. Now, any confusion? Okay, I don't know what happened with the camera. But okay, so this is it for today. Sorry, I think the camera went out of focus. Any confusion? Any confusion, anyone? Important topic for static portion in economics, monetary policy, fiscal policy. These are the two most important. Now I will take the rest of the queries in the next session. So this is it